Howdy y'all! As I've done in previous sport VR comparison videos, I think it is very important for me to qualify my real life experience with the sport before we hop into my takes and opinions on the games themselves. While I was growing up, we always had a basketball goal in the driveway and I used the absolute heck out of that thing. But going into school, I never played on an official league such as high school or club team. But I have played a couple of intramural teams over the years, and in addition to this, I've played a handful of pickup games. All that to say, I'm not exceptional at basketball, but I do have a great feeling for how to approach the game and the physics themselves. As a note, before we hop in, both of these games are in early access phases. While I don't anticipate the game physics to change much as they move into GA, I do hope to see more game modes and small bug fixes for each with that eventual release. Without further ado, let's hop in. This comparison is a bit different from our golf and ping pong comparisons because the physics and attempts at realism are completely different. Neither game fully commits to being a basketball simulator. GymClass's goal is to try to replicate the real life difficulty of dribbling and shooting with a larger than life jump and air time. BlackTop Hoops gives you even more jump and air time while providing more video game like physics when it comes to shooting and dribbling. Both of them offer the ability to play half or full court, however. I would suggest leaning on the half court option when booting into the games for the first couple of times, just to kind of get the feel of things. In GymClass, it offers a relatively high barrier to entry for the competitive scene. Dribbling is done completely manually and is arguably the most difficult thing in the game, and I would honestly be remiss if I didn't say that good dribbling in real life basketball is also one of the most difficult things in the game. So in that way, I guess it isn't far off from each other. It would take, at minimum, a couple of hours of dribble drills and practice to get even mildly competent in GymClass dribbling. This would be regardless of skill in real life, as the practice needed is relatively different. Now, shooting is where real life experience can help out a decent bit if you're great at draining mid-court shots and threes. It is still a difficult skill to master, but the motion is largely the same. And in order to simulate at least some real life movement, jumping is done by bending and jumping from the knee movement, which can be a bit awkward to get used to. It does work well though. And once you get that bit of movement down, you jump directly into a very floaty jump that allows a decent amount of movement within it, allowing you to fade backwards or forwards with your shot. Also, you can pass easily from that jump. On the other side of things, BlackTop Hoops dribbling helps you out a ton and doesn't require extensive practice before you can hop into playing. It does its best to kind of reflect what you're trying to do, whether you're dribbling to side or just in one hand or the other. And otherwise, as long as your hands are moving, you can dribble without looking at the ball. Shooting, again, is another spot that the game helps you out by providing a pro and beginner mode. While the pro mode still has a mild amount of aim assist, the beginner option has an extreme amount of assist to help out those who are new to sports or VR sports in general. Jumping has two different options, a normal jump shot motion, and then a dunk-like jump that puts you well above the rim for good shot opportunities or to posterize your challengers. Along with the insane airtime, the game gives you a power-up after garnering enough points for steals, shots, and other actions on the court that will allow you to easily sink the ball from anywhere. Luckily, this power-up is scarce when enabled, and it would pop up maybe 2 to 3 times across everybody in a 21-point match of 2v2. GymClass takes a very bare-bones approach to bringing you basketball on your headset. Much like 11 does for table tennis, you can play matches with others via a ranked or room mode, or you can hang out in your own court to practice and work on drills. These drills can be done with either just yourself or with an AI. BlackTop, even in its alpha stages, boasts a single-player mode, but the mode is largely just you facing up against AIs of different difficulty. Since in BlackTop you're able to see your history in the single player mode, it feels like you're accomplishing more and completing quote unquote portions of the game. However, at the end of the day, there's little difference in that and playing against the custom AI in GymClass. One very important aspect in these games is how you learn the mechanics. Both games require you to run through a tutorial before you can hit the court. BlackTop's tutorial covers all of the mechanics you need and requires you to make some baskets before you can start up. GymClass, on the other side of things, only really teaches you the mere fact that you can dribble and then proceeds to just let you go into free play before teaching you the proper way to shoot. This method for shooting can be very complex to master, and due to the hold and release mechanisms that works differently than other VR sports games that I've played, I was honestly stuck until I went to YouTube to figure it out by watching tutorials on how to shoot. In the final releases of these games, I really do hope to see levels of training for beginners, intermediates, and then those that eventually hope to go pro. BlackTop has come into the game relatively recently, only releasing the early access version last month. It would be impossible to gauge the continued growth and fostering of a game's community when focused on just the historical data. So for this reason, we have to look at what they're doing now and estimate the possibilities in the future. The devs have been great about properly maintaining a presence in their Discord and other social medias, and it looks like they're going to be hosting tournament play as time goes on. The game is really fun, and I think it has the physics to foster an appropriate competitive community. More so than GymClass, I do think that it'll be very important for this game to get on the actual Quest 2 store instead of its current App Lab version. That way it'll reach the targeted younger audiences, thus growing the player base. GymClass has been around for a long time and is one of the most highly rated App Lab games around. It has a strong cult following and it'll continue to grow through its tournament system and Discord community. If multiplayer is something you are strongly concerned about, I don't think you'll have any issues with finding people to play in GymClass going forward and for a really long time. In both games, the multiplayer offerings are kind of a similar slew. They offer things like 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, both taking place on your choice of a full or half court. Usually at the end of these videos, I have an opinion of which game is likely better for you to purchase based on my takes and experience. However, with these games, I really hope to instead talk plainly about how each game works and my takes on where it'll end up in the future. I hope that's enough to help you decide what step to take next. GymClass has a deep history with the VR sports community and will likely continue to grow in its niche usage by those really high-level players. It shines especially when its players spend hours perfecting their shot form and dribble skills and then execute on those during matches and tournaments. If you're a high-level competition player, then I think GymClass is the spot for you to go. However, if you just want to pick up your headset and be able to play an actual game of basketball after, a short tutorial, then I would hope to push you towards BlackTop Hoops. The game is really fun, allows you to be wacky with your basketball skills without losing homage to its real-life predecessor. Well, let me know. What are your takes on these games? Leave a comment below, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate your time and viewership. If you'd like to join the community, I host monthly VR tournaments and community nights in my Discord. I would love for you to drop by, say hi, and get involved. On top of that, we're always talking about new news and events in social and casual sport VR. Look forward to seeing you around.